Hello everybody and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's episode, we're focusing on two cryptocurrencies, on Bitcoin and Chainlink. This is going to be a shorter video than normal, but if you guys are new to see more cryptocurrency news and information, technical analysis like that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. And if you guys are a returning viewer, it's good to see you guys again. So let's go ahead and focus on what we got here going on so far. Chainlink at number 5. You can see it's just holding a little bit more above that of Bitcoin Cash with a real positive gain so far, 12.16 according to the CoinMarketCap website. And there's an article that was published on newsbtc.com, which an analyst had suggested that one of the crucial points of interest was $11 as far as for being a springboard, actually identifying more of like a comeback or pull down before it shoots back up around $11 range. I almost said 11,000. Jeez, can you imagine? $11 range, a renewed test of the $13.25, and I think we'll have a breaker towards $15.50 to $16. You explained while pointing the chart below. So as of the time of this video, this was actually uploaded about 4 hours ago or so. You can take a look on the Chainlink posting here on TradingView. We break it down a little bit more on a technical analysis side. So they actually had said off of the $13.15, I believe is what they had said right here. $13.25 range. So that was actually as of previous, right in this red zone here. When I drew the Fibonacci retracement, which I absolutely love this tool, and I do see a lot of other cryptocurrency analysts using this tool, we can see that this has bounced off of the 0.382 on the Fibonacci sequence. It touched right off there and bounced right off. And then this had also just slightly passed above before back on September 6th and pulled back down. And we saw some levels pushing right off for the closing of the days, as you could see down here even on the 0.236 on the Fibonacci retracement. So very interesting perspective on that. Oh, I got to make sure, just so you guys know, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't ever ask me for financial advice, and you should always do more research anyways on your guys' own. Look at this video as a form of entertainment, but hopefully this is some valuable information and it does point you in a better direction. So taking a look at this chart, as we are in a current bull cycle just on the short term right now, right? The last couple days we've seen a lot of downturn with that of Bitcoin. We pulled this up on the daily here. Zooming in quite a bit. We had this big pull down on September 2nd, September 3rd, even further of a crash, and then it's just been filling in this kind of consolidated zone. So we are starting to see over the last 2 days a little bit of a climb push back up. Over the last week or so, it's had a pretty dramatic hit. You can even see on the RSI for Bitcoin, this had a big hit pushing towards the range of being oversold. If it passes below that 30 line, that's an indication of being oversold. Up top here, the 70, an indication of it being overbought. So it is on the upward trend. We could see over on the stock market as well that the stock market has had a bit of a bounce back today, something like even Tesla. So we look at Tesla stock. You see that Tesla stock is up 10.92% as of yesterday. It had a big drop down. I believe it was around 20% or so, but it's almost 11% gain over just the last 24 hours. And then same thing, you look at the Dow Jones, it's up 1.6%. The S&P 500 is up 2.01%. The NASDAQ composite 2.71%. So the entire market had a big pullback just recently, and then now we're starting to see it already pushing itself back up, right? But this could be still part of that dead cat bounce. You have up and down moments, and when it crashes down in a dead cat bounce, it crashes really hard. So a lot of money is being pushed and pumped into the market by the feds, and I would say it's still a very volatile market right now. It's like walking on eggshells that are on top of explosives ready to launch you off into the moon or launch you straight off into the ditch. So always be careful. If you guys are investing and you're looking at this on a long-term perspective, a lot of these indicators that we're taking a look at shows very high promises for long-term investment growth. If you're looking at it from a day trading type perspective, short term, make sure you set up your stop losses because of the volatility. This stuff could have huge pullbacks. It's not uncommon to see 50%, 60% retracements in the cryptocurrency space. I mean, Bitcoin, we've seen 40% retracements just recently, right? So it's not too unheard of. With Chainlink, it is almost touching the 21 EMA. As I mentioned, it did touch off of the Fibonacci retracement of the 0.382 right here. If it passes above that and it breaks also the 21 EMA, I think that's a really good formula suggesting a much higher climb. We've seen this previously push all the way up and test a high right around $20. At the moment right now, it's at $12.80. So that's a pretty good percentage increase. The next Fibonacci retracement level we would be seeing is right around the 0.5. That's at 4.62%, almost 15 cents. And then the next range after that you're looking at would be about 16 cents of a continuation if it falls within the Fibonacci retracement levels of a baseline. So I would keep an eye out for that. If it pulls down further below and actually breaks below this line right here, which I had set up, which I actually need to line that up just a little bit better. I've been seeing a lot of testing right around this region here, right around the $12 range, back on August 9th, again on August 11th, a closeout day on September 3rd, a near closeout day on September 4th. So seeing multiple reference points here and nearly an opening day as of today right around the range, just a little bit above it. So if it breaks down below, in my opinion, $12 and $12.05 or so, then we might see it pull back down to $11.79. We've seen a lot of fighting right here. And then additionally below that would be 11 cents or 11.05. And then even further down below that would be contesting around the $9.15 range again, which would be quite a bit of pullback off of this. That's bleeding territory. So looking back at Bitcoin, just kind of moving into some of the news with this. And then I'm going to kind of finish off about this article with Dave Portnoy. Taking a look on the long-term perspectives. So if we kind of pull this out just a bit here, you can see this steady climb up over time, correct? I zoom it out even more. And what I went ahead and drew was this purple line. Because as you can see, going back in time, these major bull runs, the times where it hit these super highs, right? This purple line right here was not at the start. We actually see it much further down when it started to have this big, huge rally. But when you see this dip, after we had this climb up, pull up, came down, tested right around in this region zone, and then it rallied, and it went all the way sky high up to $20,000. Then we had, again, right around in this range. You can see that a baseline, as this had started to push up, was right around in the same area. Pushed on up, reached a new high. We hit this bottom, a big, huge crash, right? And we're starting to see an exponential increase push up. There's more adoption right now. There's more people that have large money. And you're seeing more third-party applications. The system is actually more secure with the hash rate. It's harder to break into if somebody was to try and do what's called a 51% attack, things like that. So I think that as far as the baseline goes, this is a very strong indicator that we are in a bull run, and we might see that big, huge exponential push like never before, even theoretically. I mean, this had a lot of hype behind it, but it didn't have as many big money players. You had people, obviously, that had big money, but not as many as you do now. So if a lot of people that have big money step up to the table, and there's only so many Bitcoin that's available for them to pick up, boom, shoots up very fast. There's only so much supply. And it's only gotten worse since back then. It's actually half the production rate now. And then this light blue line that we see right here, you can see that also at the base of this kind of rally, an association with the purple line that I had set up. This very bottom point is actually lower than the next sequence, which took place around December 11th of 2018. And then it had also started to climb itself up even higher there. And then again, we saw another high on March 18th. So it's continuously setting new higher lows. Not new higher highs, we're still trying to pass that $20,000 mark, and that's a big hump. We had $20,000, $14,000, and then we hit like $12,500. Got to pass that $14,000 again, and then the next goal is to pass $20,000. If we do that, then definitely long term, we have for sure a continuation of new higher highs. So that's the long-term objective goal, is to pass that $20,000. Short term, we want to get back to the $14,000 and then have that $20,000 next. And then after that, I mean, it's to the moon, 50,000, 100,000, etc. I have a separate video, by the way. So if you are very speculative or are very speculative about Bitcoin ever being able to hit $500,000 per coin, I made a separate video where I actually break it down for you and show you real world case scenarios in association of where money is being applied already and how that can kind of correlate to the total market cap value of Bitcoin. So I highly recommend that you guys go check that video out. I'll actually have a little pop-up show up right here, and I feel like it's kind of an undervalued video that a lot of people don't look at because it's easy to kind of say these things, but I think it's even more valuable when you show use case scenarios of similarities, right? So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. And also, as you take a look here, we have a green line that I've set up on the top. That's showing it right around the $11,500 level. We've had a bounce off. You can see like the 21 EMA had moved right off of that and pushed back down. So ideally want to try and see if we can break that. There was a bit of a drop off that also took place during that time period. And I believe there was, I'm trying to remember, there was one other reason I had set this part up. Might have been off of that 21 EMA. That's all I can remember off the moment. Something that I also was looking at, just kind of curious, and I want to keep an eye on it a little bit, is you got this kind of like double top formation off of the EMA itself, not off of the actual candlesticks, but I'm just directly looking at the 21 EMA, and it's similar levels right here. We're seeing this retracement down. Some concern I have is that this might form another double top and have a further continuation down. So kind of like this, and pushing down to further lower levels. Something similar along those lines. I just made that way too far. We had something kind of pull down like this, ends up falling down towards that line. These ranges where they're saying that technically it would be considered healthy, pushing back to the $8,000, $7,000 range. You might have a bit of a fake out thinking that everything's going to go up fine again, and then this whole stock market crashing down a second time. I mean, look, what was one of the big major news that was associated with the first part with the crash of Bitcoin and the stock market itself? It was the lockdown and it was the coronavirus. And you're seeing a lot more people that are going out and doing stuff on the beach in large groups, and people over in Las Vegas in the casinos and all this other stuff. And because we're coming into flu season, the weather is going to start getting colder a little bit. That's typically when the flu virus is spread even more. And so one of the concerns out there is that if we don't have a vaccine set up in time and people don't continue to take the precautions, that this could spread even faster and have more cases, which then is going to launch all these different economies into pushing into even further restrictions, which means when restrictions are afflicting the businesses, that afflicts their income, it inflicts upon their employees' income, and the whole economy starts to have another pull down, right? And there's only so much the Federal Reserve can really do trying to pump the stock market until individuals are saying, look, I need to sell this because I don't have a job. Unemployment ran out, and like, you're telling me I got to pay this. The end of this year, especially, could be very stressful, everybody, and I hope that you guys are prepared. So try not to have all your assets in one place. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but you hear a lot of people talk about this stuff. 10% of your portfolio, having multiple sources of income. If you're looking at putting your investment into a portfolio, if you do everything in Bitcoin, that's high risk. If you want to do it into Bitcoin and also try and doing it into gold or some stocks or something else like that, that's a different form of an asset, because anything could theoretically happen. I have investments into Bitcoin. I have investments into very little Chainlink myself. I've kind of come in late to the game. Orchid, that's another really big one that I personally like. There's Ethereum, and there's lots of other cryptocurrencies. So establish your portfolio, determine whether you're looking at this long-term or short-term. Look at it if you need to be able to take profits short-term and long-term. I'm a hodler, so when they say never risk more than what you're willing to lose, I have other money that's set up and I've established myself, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm secure in that regard. And you guys should be too. If you're trying to look at just like a big lottery win on this stuff, you could be in for a rude awakening. So set yourself up now. If you do make it big, great. But if not, have another source of income that's established and working in your favor, especially if you can figure out something that provides residual income. That's really going to be good leverage for you. So hopefully this news video was a good little update for you guys. It actually ended up being a little bit longer than what I thought it would be, to be honest with you. Again, if you're new to the channel, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. We're honestly trying to push to 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you guys that subscribes helps us out a lot. If you guys haven't hit the like button, please make sure you hit the like button. I would love it if we could get 50 to 100 likes on this video, and drop a comment down below. Let me know if you like Chainlink, if you feel that it's reaching a top right now, or it's just the beginning. If you got any price predictions of where you think that Chainlink's going to be going by the end of the year, or Bitcoin, where do you think Bitcoin will be at its highest point? It might retrace back, but its highest point before the end of this year. It's already September 9th. Let me know. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.